Hi, boos. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Because I missed you. I know I did not record a video last Monday. I'm so sorry. I was not feeling too well. So, since I didn't record a video last Monday, I'm sorry. I will put up two this week. So, I'll put up one on Monday, and then I'll put up another one on Wednesday. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, how often I'm going to upload and different things like that. But today, I wanted to talk to you guys because I know a lot of you are like, Marnita, I'm listening, and I'm giving, and I'm not getting the result that I think I should be getting. I am still in a situation where I don't necessarily know how I'm going to get out of this situation. Bad things are still happening to me that I don't think should happen. Well, today, I my message today is going to be, what are you doing? What are you doing? You need to get a checklist. You need to put on that checklist everything that you're doing and figure it out because you're failing your test. You're failing your test. If you're not getting the results that you're supposed to be doing, if you're not hearing, you're failing your test. And it's either because you're listening, but you're really not listening, or you're giving, but you're giving with what? You're not giving not grudgingly. You're bragging, you're boastful, you're all of those things. Because when we do get blessed, it's okay to share and to tell people the different things that you've been blessed with. But there's a difference between bragging and being boastful than just being happy that you're blessed. And I say that to say that, when you get a blessing from God, can't nobody take it from you unless he wants to take that blessing away from you. And if he's taking that blessing away from you, it's because you're doing something that you shouldn't be. Plain and simple. We are adults. Plain and simple. You're doing something. You're thinking that you're getting away with something that you're typically not getting away with. And until you are honest with yourself, and until you figure out what it is that you need to be doing, you're going to get the same results, and it's not going to be good results. I want to share a small story. So I had financed a Kia Sorento, and I had paid it off. And it seemed like as soon as I paid that car off, it started messing up. I mean, just messing up. Like, oh my God, it was just giving me horrible problems. And, I have kids, and I was getting stuck on the highway, and it was just stopping. It was just horrible. So, I had that good paying job of mine, and I'm like, you know what? Even though I had just paid it off, it had been a couple of months or whatever, but I'm like, I could buy me a new car. I can go and get me a new car because that's why it's messing up. It's messing up because I need a new car. So I went and I got this car. I got this car that I really did not like how I liked my Kia Sorento. Excuse me, I got a Buick Lucerne. It was a nice car. It had low mileage. The person who had previously owned it was an older person and didn't drive it, but it wasn't what I wanted, and it was not what was meant for me. I got it because I could. That's just, let's be honest. I got it because I could, but it was not what God had for me. So I say that to say that that car eventually got taken. Taken. And at first, I was so upset, and I was just and angry with myself because I had never had this happen. And then I started to realize, and I was like, I can't be upset. I didn't want that car. I got it because my other car had messed up. And do you know what I wasn't listening to? I wasn't listening to because I needed to go and take that car to get serviced. I didn't take it to get serviced. I barely took it to get oil changes. So I did not take care of that car. So it was not meant for me to get a new car. Because you have to take care of the stuff that God has given you in order to get something new. Yeah, we may have money and we may have it to go and buy it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is for us. So if you are finding yourself going through things and situations that you like, I'm back at square one again. I moved to square three. Now I'm pushed all the way back to one. It is something that you are doing. You. And you can't blame it on nobody else. So you need to get all the negativity out of your life. You need to remove everything that should not be there so you can listen and hear clearly to what it is that you're truly supposed to be doing, so you don't have to go through things. And yes, everybody goes through things in life, and usually we go through those things to come out and be at another level, to pass a test. But if you find yourself going through the same things over and over and over and over, it is something that you're not doing. It's something that you're not doing. So I'm asking you today, what is it? What is it that you're not doing to get you to that next step? Because I'm the type of person, and I don't know if I said it in the videos, though, I'm the type of person that every time I talk to somebody, I don't want to tell them something bad, or if I'm still going through the same situation. I don't want to talk about that every time I see somebody. So I want to be at another step or another level when I see you. Again, I don't want to be still talking about the same thing. Oh, so what's going on with you? Same old, same old. Still ain't got no job. Still don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Still struggling. No. I need to figure out what it is that I'm not doing so I can get to the next step, because I'm one of those type of people too that, and this may be I don't think of it being a negative trait or a bad trait, but I'm the type of friend that I don't want to hear you talk about the same thing over and over. Whether it be that man that you're still with, that you're letting him and you're allowing him to do whatever it is that he's doing, or whether it's you in the same situation. You're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. Point blank, period. If you're not going to do anything to get yourself out of that situation, nobody else is going to. I mean, I can give you some words of wisdom and some advice, but that's all I can give you. I can't physically remove you from that situation. And another thing, with taking advice from people, you have to be careful who you take advice from, because everybody can tell you what they think they would do. But if they have not physically been through that situation, or they're not going through that situation, their advice is null and void. Null and void. I hate, and I'm so sick of people saying, if it was me, I would have did it this way. If it was me, have you ever been through that situation? Tell me how you handled it if you have. If you have not been through that situation, then I don't want to hear your opinion on what you would do. Because I tend to see a lot of people say what they would do, but then when they go through that situation, or that situation arises in their life, they do the total opposite. So be careful who you take advice from. Be careful who you're listening to. Be careful who you're giving to. Because again, that could be why you're in the situation that you're in. Which leads me back to my topic. What are you doing? You may think that you're doing all the right things. You may think that, oh, I'm going to buy this, or I'm going to get rid of that, or I'm going to do, and that's doing the right things, when it's not. You're not listening. You're acting impulsively. You're doing it because you can. And a lot of times we want to do a lot of things that because we can, and we want to reward ourselves. And that's okay too. But again, we have to be modest. We have to be mindful. We have to be careful, because just like you got it, it can be taken away. And when you're, bragging, you have to be mindful, because everyone that's around you or that's in your inner circle don't mean you're no good. But you haven't figured that out yet, because you haven't been listening. So you just have to be careful and make sure you watch what you're doing, watch what you're saying, because you don't want it to be taken away because of something that you're doing. And you're right back at that square one. And I tell myself that because, like I said, this is the second time, and I know I'm gonna have a story time, and I'm gonna put the story time up this week with the different things that I went through, to go into a little bit more detail of what it was and what my struggles was and what I did and how I knew, because the same things keep happening over and over. That's how you know. If you don't listen to nothing that I say, if you don't even listen to yourself, if you're going through the same situation that you went through 6 months ago, a year ago, you're failing that test. And that leads me to ask you, what are you doing? Make yourself a list. Write down what you think you're supposed to be doing and what you want to do. And when you do it, cross it out. and see if you get different results. I leave you guys with this. Life is not easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy, but it does not have to be as hard as we make it. And we make it this hard because why? We're not listening. So, again, what are you doing to put yourself or to keep ending up in the situations that you're ending up in? What are you doing? You can't blame that on nobody else. You need to take full responsibility of what you're doing. And when you do that, you're going to get a different outcome. To get something you never had, you have to do something that you've never done. And believe me, it's not going to be easy. But once you get to the next step, boy, are you going to be proud of yourself. You're going to be like, I did it. I did it. So whether it's your job, whether it's that boyfriend, whether it's just you being plain old lazy, selfish, figure out what it is that you are doing so you can get to that next step. And so that you can be happy in your life. And remember, if you don't remember anything that I've said today, just remember, to get something that you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. And it's not necessarily going to be easy. It's not necessarily going to be hard. But it is going to be something different that you've never done. And if you just remember this, through God, all things are possible. And also, what goes around comes around. What you put in the atmosphere and what you say, be mindful of what you say, because a lot of times we speak a lot of stuff onto ourselves. So start speaking positive things. Stop, even if something is negative going on, don't speak it. You know it's going on. Don't speak it. Start speaking positivity in your life, and you'll see a change. And it may happen like this, and it may not. But just remember, what goes around comes around. What you put into the atmosphere is what you're going to get out. What you put into anything that you do is what you're going to get out of it. And just remember to be happy, to be nice, and to say something encouraging to somebody this week. Cheer somebody up this week. You may be down, you may be going through. Do something nice for somebody in this holiday season. And again, remember, through Christ, all things are possible.